Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, Sirr of the 2020 Podcast, LLC. Please say the LLC. And before you listen to this episode, I just got to let you know, I need you to stop what you're doing. Go to blkrenaissance.com, and I need you to shop for the culture. That's right. Anytime you use the promo code LLC20 at Black Renaissance Clothing's website, you will get 20% off your order. Off rip, no questions asked. So do me a favor and do it for the culture. Peace.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Sade with Black on Black Rhymes. Step to the mic.
Mic check.
People always ask me where I get my confidence from, and I get it from inside. It's an inside thing, y'all. And when it comes to beautiful skin, I rock with Blendia by India, where her motto is, be confident in your skin. She has a variety of naturally made soaps to keep you smelling good, hair products for long, luscious, healthy hair, and even beard products for men. You know, we got to keep those struggle beards away. So visit BlendiaByIndia.com and use promo 2020skin to get 10% off your order. Thank you, Blendia by India, for being a sponsor of the 2020 Podcast, LLC. Please say the LLC.
Hey, this is Butter So Fly of Powerlines Poetry, here to let you know anytime I feel good, I have to look good, so you have to listen to me. Make sure you go to gurudesigns.com, use a 3 instead of an E. The website is great, so you can get something for yourself, and then she makes custom clothes for men too. And guess what? I got a promo code for you. Use 20/20 and it'll get you 15% off of any order $25 or more. You can't beat that. Go to gurudesigns.com.
The self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
Okay, we lit it just like a fuse, so no need to pick and choose. Welcome to 2020, where we do more than interviews. The hottest be coming through, dropping knowledge on all of you. Get a bigger the front of you with the truth that they offer you. Yeah, hands up, we doing it for the culture. To give artists and businesses more exposure. Keeping it real and stay silent just like a boulder. It's about to go all the way down, can't get no lower. Chasing my dreams, know that they get no slower. But if I stay running, I promise they getting closer. Moreover, success my older. And if you're sleeping on me, I'm waking them up like Folgers. I told you, coming from the land with the tide roll. Well, we'll be on a whole different vibe though. We like to ride slow and keep our windows tinted so you really can see us like Stevie Wonder waking up with his eyes closed. Yeah, got the kind of flow that rock the boat. On my 16s of pounds of dough. And if you figure you can hang with me on the mic, then grab some rope. Matter of fact, better grab some hope. While you at it, we keep it live, it's time to tune in. Turn up the sound on what you're using. It goes so hard, I think it's bruising. The show is 2020, no need to zoom in. Yeah.
Hey, yo, what's up? It's your boy, Sirr of the 2020 Podcast, LLC. Please say the LLC. And today, I got a special guest, Miss Courtney of Jack of All Trades. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I can't complain, and even if I could, you wouldn't want to hear that. So, but anyway, we are here to discuss you, ma'am. You are a local celebrity of sorts. You know, you've recently been on the news. You know,
Yes.
changing lives, touching people in, you know, the United, well, not the United States, but in Alabama, outside of Alabama. You've just been reaching out and leaving your stamp and leaving an impression on people. So we linked up,
Absolutely.
you know, and we
Yes.
want to make this happen. So before we go any further, I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to do this interview. You know, you did
Most
not have to.
definitely.
And, you know, on our platform, we really appreciate entrepreneurs for sharing their lives with us. So let's go ahead and kick it off and get started. So
Okay.
if anybody was to ask what Jack of All Trades was about, like the functionality of it, what would you tell them?
The functionality of Jack of All Trades is to promote overall health and to grow your natural well-being as far as just healing you from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Now, Jack of All Trades originated from my children. My oldest son's name is Andrew. The second son's name is Chance. My last son's name was Josiah. So I took those 3 letters of their names and I said, what word could I create with those names? That's how I came up with the J.A.C. for Jack. I'm also a licensed bartender. I do hair on the side. I've held so many job titles. So I said, well, there go the trade. So we're going to come up with Jack of all trades. Now, that's where the name originated from. But I came up with this health and wellness thing, and I wanted to just promote overall health and wellness for someone who's not just sick, but also someone who wants to be healthy. You don't necessarily have to be sick. Just if you want your skin to get better, if you want, like one of my customers said, if you want to be snatched like a bad child at the grocery store, sea moss gel is definitely what you need.
Right.
And she's a potential customer. She is faithful. She has not stopped. And so that's the overall functionality of Jack of all trades.
Okay. And how long have you been active as a business?
I have been active for 3 months now. I have been a sea moss junkie, as they say, for 2 years. But
oh, wow.
I started selling it for 3 months ago.
Okay. So
yeah.
let's get into the sea moss gel, because this have been the topic of different health experts, and you're seeing it more and more in pop culture nowadays, bringing it to the forefront. So what inspired you to start, a business centered around sea moss gel?
My mother. A couple months back, my mother went to the doctor. She thought she had COVID, got a bad report from the doctor that her arteries weren't, her blood flow in her arteries weren't working the way that they should. And so they gave her the decision to, I want to say they gave her 14 days to make the decision on if she wanted to get like stents put in her heart, or she wanted to have like an open heart surgery. And I created, for her, I created it for her. And it was something new for me, because me taking sea moss in the beginning, I would just put it in maybe like a smoothie or something like that. For her, I came up with the creation of putting fruit in this jar and adding all naturals to it. And I told her, I said, Mom, take this. Don't mix it with nothing. Put it in the refrigerator. Take it once a day. And my mother went to the doctor. And when she went to the doctor, she called me. She said, do I tell the doctor about this stuff? And I said, I wouldn't, because it wasn't told to you by the doctor to take it. But positive report, no more fluid around her wrist, no more fluid around her ankles. The clogged artery completely cleared. It was just like an open airway. And so it's like she was just healed. It was like, she was born again, newborn baby, completely healthy, in literally 14 days, she was healthy as if nothing was wrong with her. And so she was the inspiration behind all of it. She was definitely my inspiration. She was the sea moss person that and when I gave it to her, it was like, Courtney, you got to tell some people about this stuff. And I was like, I don't know, Mama, because that was for you, Right. That's how I looked at it. That was for you. That's when COVID really, really just outspread it and broke out. And I gave it to another individual, and I told her to take it because I seen her hair falling on the floor. Her nails were so thin where they were breaking. And I gave her a jar. Hey, try this out. And that's what I tell a lot of my customers. Just try it. Just take it. Don't tell me what you're taking it for. Just take it.
And I like the fact that you leave it up to the customer to get their own experience.
Most definitely. Okay. Now, if you ask me, what does it do? I can tell you what it has done for me and my children. And my youngest, he's finna be 1 year old. So I can tell you what it has done for us. I can't tell you what to take it for. I can, and when I sell it to the customer, I make sure that I put additional health information. How does it help your thyroid function? How does it help your immune system build up? How does it reduce anxiety? It's and you can read up on it. I tell a lot of customers, read it before you buy it. Read up on it. But when they buy it, it's definitely working. I have not had one customer say it has not worked. And even if I sold it to you and say you took it for arthritis, if you were bald headed, your hair then grew back on your head. Your nails then grew out of the blue. Again, these are my nails. I had to tell the news station, these are I used to bite my nails so bad. Why, where I get it from, I don't know. But my nails have tremendously grown. I don't even have to get false nails on my hands.
Goodness.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's great.
I love the fact that you educate along with, meeting a supply and demand, ratio there. So that's amazing. So let me ask you this, being new to business, starting this business 3 months ago, were there any obstacles that you encountered along the way?
Yes. There were a couple obstacles that I encountered. I've had a customer, a potential customer, let's say last week, he called and he was very irate, I would say. He was like, I watched your article. How do you know it works? You say it works for everything. Why would you say it works for everything and you don't even know that it works for everything? Well, I had to handle it in a very nice, nasty way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a businesswoman. I do know that I have served 300 plus people, including people that's overseas in Hawaii. And one thing that I do know is that I get a positive report every time. Again, I never ever ask you, what are you taking it for? And when people ask me what the sea moss does, it does everything that you need it to do. That's typically my answer, because if you look up sea moss gel, it's going to tell you that it contains 92 nutrients and your body needs 102 in order for you to breathe.
Okay.
So 92 nutrients in your body from this one element, you're only missing 10 nutrients. So what I say is it works for everything. And he was very irate. Why do you say it works for everything? I need something for eczema. I need something to clear my skin.
Right.
Well, you probably need to try it, because I have a couple of eczema customers that has taken it and their skin has cleared. Just taking it by mouth is enough. You're taking in what you need to take in by mouth. It's not a pill, it's something that you refrigerate. It's a gel, and it's mixed with all natural products along with fruit to give it flavor, so that you don't have to consume those natural products or it don't make you gag or throw up or whatever. So it's definitely something that's trending, as I would say. And it was something that I created. Now, there are other potential salesmen or vendors or whatever that sell sea moss. Their sea moss is strictly for weight loss. I supported a couple people and I bought it. And again, it works. It works for weight loss. And so I get that a lot. I get that a lot. And that's another obstacle that I have. A lot of people say, well, I want to do more than lose weight. Well, it does more than just weight loss. It's for one, it suppresses your appetite. It helps with weight loss. I do know that if you were on an oxygen tank or a ventilator during this COVID pandemic and you took it, and for instance, if you took an oxygen tank home, if you take one jar of sea moss, you no longer need oxygen. You can breathe on your own. I get that from a lot of customers. I can breathe without the Flonase, without the Benadryl, with this weather changing. I can breathe better. I can do whatever I need to do. There was one lady told me, Courtney, I cannot walk up a flight of stairs. And I told her, I said, take your sea moss and then go home. And I want you to go up 3 stairs for me and come back and tell me tomorrow what happened. She said, not only did I go up 3, I went up a flight of stairs. I actually moved a sofa upstairs. She said, and I promise you, I haven't been able to do that in years. So it's definitely, it's very positive, but of course you're going to have some obstacles along the way. It's always somebody that says, are you licensed? And I have to break it down to them. I made sure that I dotted all my I's and I crossed my T's before I sold one jar. That's why it was given to my mother. And then I had to research on how do you get an LLC and how do you patent your product and how do you do all this stuff as far as a business. So I had to go and create my own business cards, business logos, business posters. I have a business. So that's a lot of things that I have to implement to people as well. I am licensed to sell this stuff, and those are, besides the irate customers who feel like I know it all, besides the people that, I don't think that stuff is going to heal me. I've had a couple people ask about the LLC and are you licensed to do this? And do you think you're going to get in trouble? No, I don't.
That is, and I'm glad you shared that. A lot of times people tell of stories of, the encounters they have with trying to get information, but sometimes those non-believers or those naysayers can be an obstacle themselves. So it's always good to hear, that side of the table. So you mentioned something earlier that I kind of want to wrap back around to.
Okay.
You're not just a business owner. You're a mom, you have, several other talents as well. You're a stylist, and when you're a stylist, you're a part-time therapist too, because people do come to you with their issues and they want to talk. So let me ask, how do you manage to balance your work and your personal life?
Believe it or not, I write a lot of things down. Not just when I get to work. I have a checklist that I go by because I'm an HR assistant at a distribution company. That's my full-time job. And so I'm not only writing things down at work. Believe it or not, I have to write things down at home. I have a little notepad, a little sketch pad, and I have to write, iron the kids' clothes for the week. Wash the white clothes on this day. Wash the colored clothes on this day. Make sure that the lawn is good. Make sure that the flowers are good outside. I made sure that I write pretty much everything down and I scratch it off. Everything is like a checklist. That's how I manage to balance, because my older two children, they are now into sports. Now we're in this soccer phase, headed to the football phase. So I work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So Saturdays are strictly for my children. Sunday is wind down day when we go to church. And I have learned how to balance when it comes down to CMOS. I had to learn how to balance. It was either balance or lose your mind. It's either one of the two. When I started becoming popular with the product, I had a lot of people say, "Can you bring it to me? I'm so sick. I can't drive. I can't walk. I can't move." And so I have, a sketch pad strictly for CMOS. I have one side that I flip open and I have shipping at the top. So if you live in Louisiana, if you live in Biloxi, Mississippi, if you live in Hawaii, Austin, Texas, I got your name, your address, and your telephone number down. I have to keep up with all of that stuff. So it's not really just the delivering and receiving service, but it's also like an accounts payable, because what about those people who can't cash out me and PayPal me, that's in their 60s and their 70s? So I have to wait on their check to come in the mail, or I got to wait on them to send me a money order before I can cash it. So it's a lot. It is so, at first it was overwhelming, but then I had to learn. So on Saturday mornings, early in the morning, I do my deliveries. If you live in a central location, say Moffett Road, Spring Hill Avenue, I'll get you to meet me in between the two. And so that's how you get your CMOS. Now it has become better because I have, again, the same customers. I know that if I sell it to you and it's good for you, you're going to come back. I've learned that. And now it has gotten so good to where my customers would buy 12 to 15 at a time. Wow. And resell them just to save me a trip, just to save me gas. So, hey, I can make let's say $300, $400 from one person, and then they're going to go and resell the product. Miss Courtney, that was to save you gas and time and energy. So I do have those customers that look out and appreciate me and do things for me as well. I've had another guy, and I didn't know where he worked, but he worked at a printing shop. And I sold him 2 jars. Never knew what he took it for. Come to find out, he was taking it for, I want to say his legs or something. He said he was having problems like muscle spasms. That's what it was. Cramps, child horses, muscle spasms. So he was taking it for that. And he called me one day. Him and his assistant called me one day and said, listen, can you come by after work? And I said, well, I don't have any sea moss, but I can go home and get you some. No, we don't need any sea moss. We need you to come up here. But when I tell you big, beautiful printouts, like poster boards, hardback poster boards with my product, my company name, my logo, Miss Courtney, that's for you. There's 1,000 business cards for you. This is what we do every day. We print and we do this stuff, but for you, because of how you helped us, because of how you heal. They always say I'm a healer. Because of how you healed us, we're going to give you this. And this is for you. And you take it everywhere you go. And when I tell you, it has helped me tremendously. Like I've done 2 events so far. I'm trying to go to the Sip and Shop event in Atlanta, June 24th, I believe, if that's the right date, 24th, 25th. I was invited to come to Atlanta to do their pop-up shop. So I want to make people familiar with me. And I do that by balance. And like I said, balance is writing everything down. I have 1 million pieces of paper just floating around the house, but I know that once I do what I need to do, I check it off. So that's how I balance my life as a mother, as an HR assistant, as a daughter, as a granddaughter, cousin, whatever.
Right.
That's how I balance. I write everything down. Yes.
All right. Well, I love that. I'm an advocate of that as well, because it's very easy to get cluttered when you're a business owner.
Right. Absolutely.
So I advocate for writing things down as well. Now, let me ask you this next question, because this goes into a little bit of those memories. Obviously you had, the moment where you just were, doing your part, changing lives. And then obviously it left an impression. And then a whole publishing company, decided to invest back into you so you could reach other people, which is amazing. With memories like that, are there any other memories that you would say are the most memorable that just stand out to you when it comes to reflecting back on, like the thing about starting a business is you're unsure sometimes. When things get quiet, you don't know, if you're in the right place sometimes. So was there any moment where you maybe affected someone and it kind of reaffirmed that this is why you do it?
Yes. I would say my mother again. She was the one that gave me that light that okay, I know what I did was right. And there are plenty times that after my mother called me and told me, hey, I'm good, I feel good, whatever you did, it worked. I thought about my grandmother. My grandmother passed away in 2000 from breast cancer. And it made my heart smile that my mother said, hey, I feel good, Courtney, no fluid, no nothing. The doctor said no pacemaker, no stents, no open heart surgery. But I always think back like Courtney. And again, 2000, I was 8 years old. But I always think about if you could just go back and just give your grandmother this stuff. Because I have gave it to someone with breast cancer. And trust me, they are kicking. When I tell you, hey, you one thing, nothing is wrong with them. I always think about my grandmother. And I pray over after I'm done making my jars and I have a big, huge countertop in my kitchen, I line all my jars up and I be praying, in Jesus' name. I touch every single jar, but there is not one jar that no one has brought back, unless you just let it sit in the heat and mold and mildew, then hey, that was on you. But every jar that I have gave out, it has helped. But I always, and I mean, when I pray, I always tell my grandmother, this for you, this for you. I dedicate my business to you. I know it's named and originated for my children, but I always, granted, this for you, because that's what we call it, granted. Granted, this is for you. This is for you, because this is how you heal people holistically, as they call it, without the prescribed medications and without these surgeries for you to get cut on and all this good stuff. But after my mother, there was one customer. She, and I love her, and she tell me every single time I talk to her, I love you so much. But I gave her 3 jars. She had COVID, pneumonia, bronchitis, and she's an asthmatic. If she laid on her left side, she had indigestion where she couldn't really breathe freely. She couldn't swallow a lot. But I gave her the jar and I told her, I said, listen, I'm not experimenting on you because I know it's going to work. And she was the second person to try it. I gave it to my mother first. She was second. I said, I just need you to take this stuff. And you should have seen her. When I took it to her house, she was rolling her oxygen tank. Tubes was flowing out of her nose and everything. But I took her the jar and I watched her within 3 weeks progress. And then I finally got that call from her and she was like, guess what happened? And she was like, the medical equipment company just came and picked up my oxygen tank. Well, the doctors told me that I was going to be on this oxygen for probably the next 6-7 months. She does not have oxygen anymore. She can breathe on her own.
Wow.
I mean, and then I started following her, like where she would just be in the house. She would be scared to go out and get exposed to anybody, anything. I started watching her page. Pedicure, manicure. Her daughter graduated from college. Her son just graduated from high school. Her husband re-proposed to her after 24 years of marriage. I watched her literally, she was like a crumbled up cookie before I took her that jar. But I tell her every single time I take her a jar, and she always tell me, it was you that helped me. She was my motivation to just push, and then I started reaching out to immediate friends and family, and I started telling them about it. And just about all of my immediate family is taking it, and they have not stopped taking it, whether it's for energy, whatever, they've been doing great with it. So she, besides my mother, she would be the person that was like an inspiration to me.
All right. I love that. Now,
yeah,
with being in a new business, I like to think long term, because I don't want this to be just a short term thing. I love to see success build upon itself and create a legacy for others, like your family members. You mentioned your children. I would love to see this continue. So I wanted to ask you what I call my long-term question. Where would you like to see yourself and Jack of all trades in 1 year, in 3 years, and then in 10 years?
In 1 year, I want to see myself, let me rephrase that. In 1 year, because I'm gonna speak it into existence, I'll be traveling around the world telling people how powerful this stuff is. In 3 years, I have my own health and wellness shop where I'll expand and I'll be selling more than sea moss. It'll be more holistic medicines that you can take, that you could heal yourself versus going to a doctor or seeing a psychiatrist or whatever it is that, you know, a customer may see. In 10 years, I'll probably be a billionaire, probably on national TV, because that's what I keep telling myself. You're going to have a multi-million-dollar business when you're done, because it's more people that's getting sick, and it's more, and believe it or not, I have more men buying it than women. So.
All right. Well, I salute you on those long terms, and I love the fact that you said you're going to speak it into existence.
Yeah, that's it. It's going to happen.
I'm all for
I started
manifestation.
with one jar for one person, and hey, I done sold over 300 jars and left out of my refrigerator.
Hey,
whether it was going in the priority mailbox or it was going in my car to get delivered. So we good, you know.
You delivering health, and I'm for it. So I definitely see you.
Absolutely.
See you moving forward. So that's going to bring me to my last question, Ms. Courtney, because I know you got things to do. So my final question is this, and it's more of a question I dedicate to the listeners out there. The hardest thing to do in the world is to take an idea and share it with the world.
Right.
What words of encouragement would you have for somebody who have an idea, but they're afraid to act on it?
Oh, wow. Okay. My favorite quote, and it comes from Clifford T.I. Tip Harris. I always tell people this. Stop looking at what you do not have and start looking and be thankful for what you have already. There were plenty of nights when I was like, man, I hope they heal that woman, or I hope they heal that man. Man, I hope they come back. I had to stop worrying about, you know, if you don't get the reviews, if you don't get the testimonials, don't worry about it. They're coming back. Trust me, they're coming back. And it started coming back all at one time, like literally all at one time. I went from serving sea moss and shipping sea moss made to order to now I have to take it with me everywhere I go. I don't care if I'm going to the grocery store. Somebody is going to call me and say, hey, I'm down, I'm out, I need it. Perfect example. I have a cousin and she's been sick, and I sold a jar to her yesterday. And before she went in the house, she said, I just sit up and eat it. It's so good. I wish you would have bought that other flavor. I said, what other flavor you wanted? Because she wanted to try something different. She said, well, I like pineapples, but I like the mango, the peach mango. I said, well, I had put an extra one in the car for you because I knew you was going to ask for it. Oh, okay. Well, how about this? Since I'm going to go ahead and get 2, let me go ahead and get the strawberry for my son. I said, yeah, I had put an extra one in the car for him too. I really did. I just put them all in the car because situations like that.
Right. No, it's better to be prepared, you know, overall.
And I had to learn that, again, when I hear T.I. say that, you know, stop looking at what you ain't got and start being thankful for what you do have. I used to always say, man, I ain't got no money. I want to take my kids here, but I ain't got this and I ain't got that. And when I started this business, I was not employed. I did not have a job. I went into my job. I went to a job fair and I applied to be a delivery driver. And I was pulled by, I say an angel. I was pulled by an angel. Hey, this is not the job for you. This is the job for you. Let's go interview for this. I had my interview. I went back a few days later, had my second interview. And again, my latest degree is in criminal justice, not human resource. I was at the police department before I'm where I am now. And I was like, man, I know nothing about human resource. What am I going to do? I am a wonderful, excellent human resource assistant. You understand? I take pride in my job. And then when I clock out, I still have to clock back in and make sure that my people have what they have to be successfully healed and feeling good naturally from the top of their head to the bottom of their feet. So you got to be thankful for what you have right now. Okay. You can't be looking at what you don't have. You got to be thankful for what you already got.
I love it. You couldn't have said it any better.
That's right.
So Courtney, if anyone wants to get in contact with you, whether it be about Jack of all trades or they just had some general questions about, CMOS gel, how could we and our listeners contact you? What's the best method?
I have an email that comes through as a text message. Okay. My email is cmatthews20@yahoo.com.
Okay.
I can also be found on Facebook if you just type in Courtney Matthews. Nothing perfect. It's just Courtney Matthews. You can type that in. And I also created an Instagram today. So my Instagram name is Jack of all trades. I do not have any friends as of yet because, again, it's only 2 hours old. So for all of the listeners, add me as a friend, follow me on Instagram, because that is really the way that I'm going to try to outreach my business to other states as far as Atlanta, Tallahassee, Florida. I mean, I've had people, I have family, Boston, Massachusetts. I have had family that I've had to ship plenty to. And of course, just word of mouth, it's been very, very successful. But I've had a lot of other people reach out and say, hey, if you come and do this convention for me, and man, if you can bring 60 to 75 jars, I need all my people to get this stuff because they need it. So Instagram, again, Jack of all trades on Instagram. Facebook is Courtney Matthews, and email is cmatthews20@yahoo. And if you just shoot me an email, again, it comes as a text message. I typically respond 5 to 10 minutes. So
there it is.
Yeah.
Ms. Courtney, thank you so much for doing this interview. I look forward to getting a jar myself. You know what I'm saying? I got to see what this is about.
Of course. You have to. Wonderful. It's wonderful. It'll have you dancing, skating. If you ain't got no skates on, you'll be sliding in your socks. It's good for you.
I'm cool with sliding in my socks because I can't skate. So that'll work for me.
And then for the women, like my customers say, your stomach want to be flat as the floor and waist snatch like a bad child at the grocery store, you better get you some CMOS because that's what she said. So it works. That.
And with that being said, thank you so much, Courtney. And this has been Sirr 2020 Podcast LLC, and we are out.